Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Friday, May 7th market update. On the economic front, April non-farm payroll showed we added 290,000 jobs, much better than expected 200,000, and the unemployment rate actually increased from 9.7% to 9.9%, which I thought was interesting that we're adding jobs, but employer rates going up. So I don't know how great that was of a number as far as the adding the jobs. So no economic data scheduled for release on Monday. So there's enough headline risk out there now. So we don't need any more data. The dollar and oil were down. Gold, silver, and copper were up. So let's take a look at the dollar here. Pulled back a little bit today. Not really heavy selling. MACD's nice and high. Might rest for a while. It's let's go here. So you see we've got some overhead resistance. Actually, if you go clear to the weekly on the UUP, the dollar ETF, right around this 25. Yeah, somewhere around this area. Probably a little resistance. I'm sure we'll break through it, but note that. I want to look at several weeklies on different charts tonight. Light Street crude futures were down another $2 today to settle at $75.11 a barrel. Over to the West Texas Intermediate crude chart. So now we have this bearish price objective of 62. Keeps getting lower. I think yesterday wasn't at 66. And now it's 62, so it's getting lower and lower, so we'll see if that plays out. But the rate we're going now, I'm starting to think we might get there. Let's see. Let's take a look at the Dow. Dow closed down another 139 points to 10,380. S&P closed down another 17 points to 1,110. Nasdaq closed down another 54 points to 2265, and the Russell closed down another 19 points to 653. The Dow held the best, still closing down 1.33%, and the Russell had the larger percent loss again, down 2.86%. Definitely running from the small caps. So we had a wild day today. We're probably going to have a lot of those ahead here in the weeks to come. We were all over the place. Even though we closed here, we were as low as like 10,241. We were up as high as 10,579. I mean, it was nuts. Pretty nutty again today. Great market for scalping if you're quick, and that's about all it's good for. So let's take a look here at the Dow. Now you notice here we're closing right around this area. Maybe you can see it better if I move it up. You know, MACD's way rolled over, but we're trying to stop here in this area. And I wanted to note that if you go on the weekly, I'm looking at the 5-year weekly. You know, we've touched. This goes back to October of 07. We've touched. Well, guess where? We're trying to use this downtrend line on the weekly as support. Will it hold? It may for a period of time. I'm guessing it's going to break. I think we have probably some much lower prices in store over the next weeks to come. I mean, the institutions are moving out big time. I mean, there's massive selling. Another high, the volume again today was 200% higher than average. Again, that's like 2 days in a row, so it's crazy. So this is what we're doing. Here's the weekly chart. We're trying to hold this downtrend line as to support. If you also notice that we've touched here, and now we're around that area. Support's not going to be exact on these trend lines, so we've touched here, so it's another area. And I'm guessing we're at least going to come down here and test this, and we may come down here to this. I mean, I don't know where we're going to go, but. Okay, let's look at the SPX. Same way SPX, this is on the daily. We've touched. Guess where we came to? We touched right here. So this was our, support. I think you're going to see a lot of, in the weeks to come, you know how we started bouncing these 100 plus days up and down right in here and here and here and here and here and here? Well, I'm sure we got a lot more of that to come. So I'm not sure where we're headed. Again, on the, let's look at the weekly here. So if you look at the weekly, we still have, well, let's see here. Let's try this, see what we got here. Somewhere around, somewhere around that. We're coming not exactly as pretty as the Dow, but we've got some weekly support in there. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Again, we've touched close to it here, close enough. And let's look at the weekly here on the NASDAQ. Weekly, let's just throw something across here. So we've touched here. So NASDAQ's actually, up here higher off of the where we broke out from the weekly. So this is the weekly chart. So we've touched here. So we've got if we come down and test this, we could go way down in here. Don't know that we'll do that, but anything's possible. Let's take a look at gold. GLD. Still holding up really well. I like this pattern. Gold should have more in it. I'm sure it won't be a straight shot up. It typically isn't. It bounces around some, but I think gold looks really good. Again, take a look at the weekly on gold. I mean, it's blue skies here. There we have we've got this high about 119.50 or so. May consolidate around here, but we should have at least probably at least mid 120s or something here on GLD coming our way. Should be. SLV is finally getting a pop. I like, again, has built a nice base under here, come down and tested this trend line. Volume's coming in. It's going back to Dennis Gartman talks about things you can drop on your foot. I think some of that's coming back into play, the silver and the gold. Look at the weekly here. Nice weekly. We broke above the weekly right in this area here in 2009, and we've got a little resistance here, but somewhere around here, it should keep going. I think silver should have a lot more to run as well over time. JJC, copper, trying to make a little comeback. Copper's been much weaker. I don't really expect a whole lot out of copper. And of course XLF, all this stuff looks pretty terrible. Financials are looking terrible. Let's go over and look at the McClellan. We look at the McClellan for the NYSE. If it ever pulls up. Come on. Well, maybe we won't be looking at it. Finally. Okay, so we're going way oversold. Minus 123. That's pretty crazy. We can be more oversold, but I'm expecting a pretty big pop. Like I said, in this type of market, you're usually going to have these big jumps up and down, and that's probably what I expect we're going to have. Let's go over and look at the sectors. All 16 sectors we follow finished in the red today. The utility index held up the best. It was down 0.39%. Home construction index was the weakest, down 4.36%. Of course, on Fridays I don't do the chart watch, so I'll post my watch list here Sunday evening. See if I can find some things. Probably be hard to find shorts because we've already gone down so much. I'd rather short into strength. So I'll put maybe some longs I think might get a bounce. All right. Let's take a look at the current market signals. Follow the point and figure charts of the Dow, NASDAQ, S&P. Of course, the Dow and NASDAQ are on sale. S&P is still on a buy. We have a ways to go before the S&P would go on a sell signal. So we've got to go. Let's see. We're at this at 1,110 level right here. We need to take out this prior column of O, so we need to print 1,060, and we'll go on a sell signal. S&P. Russell's already on a sell. I mean, the market's definitely sell market. It's on sell signal. So what else? Oh, I was going to show you the FXE I just happened to be noticing here. So if you look at the 5-year on the FXE, you'll notice that it's touched here. FXE, the euro has some support here. Again, I don't know if it'll hold it, but the FXE does have some support right around this area on the weekly chart. We've touched it here, and we've bounced to about 125. So what's that on the euro? This is the weekly chart, but we do have support there. All right, that is it for today. Thanks for watching InvestSharp's daily market analysis, and have a great week.